We're going to create a rig from scratch, I guess. Then we're going to try and, I guess once we've done that, we're going to have to do a little bit of weight painting and testing it on animations. So next thing will be testing animations. We'll probably do a little bit of weight painting if we need to, which we probably will do. And then I think would be in the same position as we are now. Yeah, so I guess the next steps would be looking at possibly customizing our own animations. Yeah, maybe we can look at customizing animations. We're going to do it in American spelling. So customizing our animations, and then we want to finally we'll be doing our UV unwrapping. And then our texture painting. So it's quite a lot to try and get through, but some of them, keep in mind, we did touch upon quite a bit last time as well. So we're going to go and have a little look around that. Gruel, what are you trying to do there, dude? Oh, right. Yeah, I don't have a title command. Okay, so the name of the stream today is we're doing a monthly game dev challenge. This month throughout May, we're going to be doing a challenge that I've called Creating a Character from Concept to Playable. And we're going over the whole process from designing a character, modeling a character, rigging a character, hooking it up with animations, and then texturing the UV texturing the character, and then importing it into a game engine. We're going to be using Unreal. And then like next week, we're going to be probably looking at using animation blend spaces and hooking it up with a player controller so that we can see our characters switching between the animations. That's roughly what we're going to be doing. Okay, right. So, Brian, let me go back into Blender then. And so I guess I want to make a different character, a different version of this. So let me just go save copy. Let's just do a save as with custom rigging. Okay, so let me save that.
Okay.
And so I need to just delete the previous one. I guess we need to separate them first, right?
Yeah.
So I will need some reminding. Is there something P or L or something?
So select the mesh.
Mm-hmm.
And then move your cursor over the Alt P. So Alt resets.
Yeah, it inverts. It's like the invert of whatever you did without it, isn't it? Yeah. So clear parent. So now it's out on its own, and then we can just get rid of that rig through deleting it. Sweet. Okay. Excellent. So we still got our character here, a little pot belly. Beautiful, beautiful creature. Okay, and we're going to try and make a rig from scratch this time. So where would we start then? Because if last time, I think I made some notes about it roughly, but you basically need to we enabled a kind of like an add-on thing for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me just open up it might be worth me jotting down a couple of notes on this quickly. Go to docs, because I had a thing where I started writing some notes down last time. Let's get this onto screen. Okay, so with the rigging side of things, we went into enable an add-on. Do you remember how we did that?
Preferences,
edit, preferences, and then add-ons, and then what was it called?
Rigify.
Okay, so edit, preferences, add-ons Rigify is a good way to get basic humanoid templates and animal.
By the way, you can also add inverse kinematics with Rigify. We didn't do that because I think it doesn't work with Mixamo well.
Right, okay.
I can also show you that.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good to me. So after we did that, there was a how did you then access to add in the skeleton? I know we're not going to do that now, but just so people know how we did it last time. So if I want to add the basic humanoid one to this.
Yeah, just like now imagine you're going to add a new bone from scratch, not gonna use Rigify. What are you going to do?
I'd imagine is Shift A to add.
Yeah.
Right, so in here, armature, that's the one,
Yeah,
single bone.
that's where it is, meta rig, the basic.
Yeah, sweet, okay. So, and to use the basic, the templates, Shift and A, add armature, I think it's called. And then there was an option for, I think it was basic or humanoid. Okay. But to do it from scratch then, we just manually add bones that way, do we?
Yeah.
Okay, so before we even start with this then, is it worth, I might just do a little screen grab of him and try and think about how exactly we would do this, just because I imagine
now you can have less bones.
Less bones, right, yes, okay. So what's going to be important for us then if we're... Oh, what are the considerations, I guess, is the question I'm thinking about. We need...
I guess you can have extra bones on the head.
So...
It's huge.
It is huge, but every time you have a joint, doesn't that mean that it can basically bend at that point? Is that the way to think of it? As a joint, right, where you can hinge, or it'll be used as a point where it can be bent. But then would we then whatever weight paint it to be that, hey, the whole head moves as one instead of bends?
No, I meant like you can have extra ones just to animate it. I don't know, like cartoony head squishes and.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay, so
you don't need extra bones. No.
Yeah. No, it's just, what I'm trying to think about is what if I was to do it myself. Where does the bones and where does the joints come into it? And I guess it's basically points that we want to bend, right?
Yeah.
And would we say, was I right in saying that the weight painting is going to be what allows us to control how much it bends?
You need to add a description of it.
What, of the weight painting?
Yeah.
You pose the bone in the most ridiculous poses to test the stretching connections. Oh, and rigging was creating a skeleton that we remove for animations. Yeah, so I guess like those definitions don't really cover, I guess, what I'm asking.
Yeah, I guess.
So I'm just trying to
you're right.
think how like animations treat these bones and that they basically can move as much as the animation tells them to if there's a joint there, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So we can just add the
So actually, maybe we can start from here. Imagine you have separate. Can you look at my screen?
I'll put it up on the screen as well so others can see.
Imagine you have separate objects. And I place another object here. Cube 1, cube 2, okay. Okay. And let's just do this. And maybe even we can have a icosiphere between them.
Ah, I see. Bones in a joint.
Okay. And if we try to add a armature here. Wait, where are you? Viewport display in front. Can't see it.
Yeah, neither can I. Is it you? Where did that go?
Okay.
Let's try that again.
Let's go the Unreal way.
Where's your 3D cursor? It could be on that.
Yeah, that's the issue.
So it's I think shift and right click. You can put it somewhere, can't you?
Yeah,
You tell it.
It doesn't work.
Blender, why? What have you done?
Maybe I'm not showing it or something. I hid it.
Oh, could it be on the overlays? I don't know whether that would be something where you can turn them on and off.
I don't know. I cannot show you this now.
Oh, that's annoying.
Maybe we can try it on your end.
Yeah, sure. That's peculiar though. Let me just finish the sentence and then we'll get it going. I just want to say that weight painting can control how much joints will bend. Oh my gosh, why did I start writing on an angle? Okay, right, so let's go into Blender and I'll do what you asked me to do.
I actually created a new file and now it works.
Oh, okay, there we go. Okay, we're back on screen then. Interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting, but that's what usually happens, right? So let's say this is our main bone.
Okay.
Go to edit mode. Move this downwards. And let's say something like this.
Okay.
All right. And so you can do this. Go here. Select this. No, object mode. Sorry. Select this object.
Mm-hmm.
And then go into armature. Actually, it should have kept the object. Yeah, this one. The armature. I don't remember the... Okay, maybe I can check the vertex of it. Okay, what I was trying to do is you can attach this object to this bone and this object to this bone. Then
right.
They will follow those bones.
Right, okay. So it's a way of making sure that the chunk of mesh sticks to the bone, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Rather than it just being warped around wherever it wants.
Yes. I'm having issues in Blender.
Yeah, it seems to be like, yeah, it's not quite doing what you want it to do.
It's okay. Yeah, okay. No.
And Spacey says, and that's why rigging is the worst.
Okay, set parent to. I did Control P.
Okay.
Bone.
Okay. So that'll set it to the whole thing then.
Okay. And I select this, set parent to bone.
Is that doing the whole thing then, though? Like rather than individual parts of that armature?
I wanted to do. Yeah.
Doesn't seem to let you choose.
Okay. Yeah, it will. Then I go to pose mode. Yeah, it kept this selected. as you can see.
Okay, so it's in pose mode.
Yeah, and then I guess bone.
Right,
Okay.
and now that is associated with that.
It's a stupid flow.
Yeah, I'm having to switch between them, but
there's some flag that you change, then it cancels out the object mode, so you can select in edit mode. You can select other objects in the edit mode as well.
Yes, yeah, I remember seeing that on the tutorial. Actually, I watched in the
Bone.
week.
Okay, so we're in pose mode.
Right, I see.
So if you go to here, edit mode and weight paint, it's all it's all blue because like
it's going to move exactly with the bone, right?
Yeah.
So then, would you make meshes that are more happily stretchable, I guess, in the middle of them to make it look more connected?
It's the weight paint is saying literally move every vertex.
Yeah.
And every edge.
Equally with the movement of the bone, yeah.
Yes. So this is actually how the bones affect meshes.
Okay, that's cool.
This is a better way to start learning how rig works, right?
Yeah. I guess the one issue that you kind of have quite often is that with tutorials they make their meshes out of one mesh.
Yes.
And then so it's harder to have that understand or maybe make that connection between where the bones are going to impact. But it's essentially just like you're just attaching the whole skeleton to one mesh instead, and that's where the painting becomes more important then, because it's your way of kind of saying which bits should actually be influenced by it.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just going to make a note as well, just to say that we can, as you said, you can like parent, or that we parent. Is it bones to meshes or meshes to bones?
Meshes to bones. Dust and bones.
Okay, cool. So we parent meshes to bones, and then we said about the weight painting as well. Okay, so if I was thinking about, since we're going to do a custom one here, the thing is, I've seen what the one they generate looks like, and they have some weird things going on that I maybe don't appreciate, but I think that's just because the humanoid has those, and all those animations on Mixamo would expect to have like hip joints and thighs and things like that, is it?
Yes. Also, I guess you can upload meshes without skeletons on Mixamo and let Mixamo generate the skeleton for you.
Okay.
So it provides you a humanoid map, and you select where the groin and the ankles are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So for a humanoid, is there a list of things that are required then, I guess, right? I mean, like groin, knee, ankles. I guess you would have like armpits and maybe elbows, hands, and neck. I'm trying to think of the main kind of parts of it, right?
Yeah, and the root bone is usually the groin, right? Or beginning of the spine.
Yeah. So, okay, something that I'm thinking of. What's the difference between? Say we're gonna have like a neck joint here, right? So, what's the difference between having a bone that goes up this high, and what's the difference between having a bone that goes all the way up like that?
Well, it depends on your mesh, right? If you wanna bend the face a little bit.
So, if we had a short one, what would that mean? Would it mean that it would all move?
Neck?
No, so this bone here, this is the only bone that goes into the head, right? So would that bone then control this entire part of the mesh, and you would not really get any? It wouldn't bend. I guess one of the things I'm trying to work out is like if the bone ends there, is this then like something? This line here with a bone end, something where it could then potentially start to bend over, which I don't think that's how it works.
It allows you to do that, but I guess by default, using the automatic weights, it will do it like spread it equally, the weight. Spread the weight equally, so when you bend it, it'll just bend as you like
Oh,
no weirdness going on.
it all bend together, basically, right?
Yes.
Sorry, it all move the same amount. And Uno Maestro said only if a new bone starts. So yeah, that's what. So Uno was saying if we had a second bone here, then, and then another one, then we're basically saying here's a point which you can, if you do need to bend, then this is going to be your kind of central point that it gets weighted around as it bends. Where if we did one, say the yellow one that I've drawn, then would the yellow one basically behave just like the short red one, in the sense that there's no joints along here, so it would basically treat it all the same?
You don't have a individual neck bone?
Not in this example, no. It's just like a joint and then one thing coming up.
Okay, so it should start to deform the mesh in an undesired way, I guess, probably.
What, around this neck point, or?
Yeah, through the chest, it could.
Right.
Sure, we should try it.
Yeah. It's just that these things, I think, like understanding it, because at the moment I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to roughly copy what I've seen before, and then I feel like if I come across something that isn't a humanoid, then I don't really know so much what I'm doing.
It's a mix between understanding and experience, I guess.
Yeah.
Because this is a simple thing, but you'll face more complicated, complex stuff.
Yeah.
So experience is the way to get through those.
Yeah. So if we had this one large yellow bone up here, it's not, by default, it's all going to be equally weighted again, this head, right? Mm-hmm. And you're not going to be like bending over in certain parts of this, unless you weight paint certain parts of it less, I guess.
I mean, yeah, you know the answer. What if you didn't have two bones in the arms and only have one?
Right. So yeah, just that you can't bend your elbow, right? Yeah.
No.
Okay. Yeah. No, think of it as that makes sense. Okay. So what would often happen then is, I guess, that you would have a neck bone separate then. So you'd have this connect to the spine, and then you'd have your neck bone, and then a thing there, which means that you don't have to fold the head or the kind of chest around in order to get this a bit of movement around here, I guess, is it?
Yes.
Okay.
And people usually have 3 bones for the torso at least to bend it.
So that allows it to take different postures, I guess, yeah, which are more... Yeah. Okay, so you got to try and think about different ways that the body would fold then, like, or hunch. So normally you have, I'd imagine you'd have this little bit down here, which is like down to the top of your ribs. Mm-hmm. I don't know where the two, whether you'd have one proportionally, because I can imagine just having like 2, but I'm trying to think of like different poses, like where else would that fold be? Would it just be simply here again? Yeah. If you do it equally, I guess this is where like anatomy comes in, right? How experienced you are with that. But okay, so if we gave ourselves, so we'd probably take a little bone by here. We'd come down to the middle here, and then right for this bottom area, we'd have another one. So
it also depends on your character.
Yeah,
this looks fine.
Yeah. So we'd need to connect to the arms, and I'm guessing it's important that we have a joint in the armpit rather than over here. Mm-hmm. So that that's the kind of crease bit when it changes. So we would then just generally have like 2 bones coming out here. That's fine. We don't need to talk about that one anymore.
We will keep offset from the neck bone maybe, or we will even extrude some shoulder bones from there if you want.
So that was I was going to say, I've seen before where they then have extra bones coming out here, and it's just like, I guess that depends but you don't have to do that, I guess, is what I'm trying to figure out. You can just say there's an offset between these.
Yes, but like without the shoulder bones, the shoulders could be more jiggly.
Jiggly mean like they can wobble around a lot more, you mean?
Yeah,
Okay. So a lot more fluid, maybe.
because
So,
they will get affected from either the arm bone or the neck bone, and when you move them, they will bend. The shoulders will bend.
yeah, rather than keep their structure. Okay, so if you definitely want them to have some form of like solid shoulders at all time, I'm guessing some bones across there would probably be useful. And then even if it's not the full width across, they don't need to meet up. And then we can
Yeah,
have like
so
an offset there.
adding bones there will lower the effect of shoulder and the neck bones over the shoulder vertices.
Right. Okay.
Stop it now.
So it'll stop other things impacting the shoulders because it now is closer to this, and so it's likely
Not
to
stop, but
reduce maybe. Sorry.
reduce the effect of them.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Now, in terms of, I'm guessing, does the same go for like the belly? So this belly's going to be fully wobbleable at this point, but I'm guessing this would be more to do with weight painting than putting bones in.
Yeah.
If we, depending on how much we want, like parts of this to kind of jiggle versus others. But okay, so we're then in a point where we'll do the bits that are easier.
So because the belly is bigger than the rest of the body in terms of like the width and the depth of it, maybe. They add some bones that go forward from the root bone to I don't know. Yes, just like that. To when you are walking, for example, your legs move forward, right?
Yeah.
And that makes your belly also move a little bit forward. And placing bones there would also reduce the legs to grab your belly forward.
Right. Okay. So we're kind of like we're taking a bit of balancing the load from when these legs start moving, so that they don't directly impact this bit as much, but instead it'll be more looking at the end of these forward pointing bones that you were talking about, I guess.
Yes.
Okay. So from the feet generally, I guess you'd have like an ankle joint, you'd have like a foot then, I guess. And then you'd go up to a knee and you'd go up to a thigh. These would have their joints respectively. Now this bit then is where we need to think about how that connects to those, and that could just be a space-based one again, or we could make these joints directly connect to them, I guess.
Yes.
We'll see how it has a different effect through doing that.
I think making them offsetted is better. I don't know.
Okay. Right. So yeah. Well, we've had a bit of a talk about it rather than going in completely blind, which is something I'm happy about. So yeah, let's go and have a look and see if we can recreate something, or if I can recreate something like this then in Blender then. So I'm assuming we want to stick to our front view just to make it nice and easy. And we're going to go for the same thing as we did before. We're going to go Shift A. We're going to go into armature and we're going to add a single bone. I'm going to actually put my cursor where I want it to start. So we're going to chuck it. We'll go with the bottom of the spine here as our start point. So Shift A, armature, single bone, kapow. Now, like Braino told us last time, what you can do is on view display on the actual armature, you need to go into it. There's a way for you to viewport display. Yes, in front. There you go, I got it. This thing. So this allows you to see it always in front rather than it actually mixing around with the or getting lost within it. So let's just line this up a little bit better to begin with.
Okay, so, just a heads up. So you went into the armature to do that, and so you also see a square tab, square icon on the right. No, not there in the inspector.
It's down here. Do you mean the inspector?
Yeah. The tabs, the square. Yeah, that one. So that is object properties, right? So that all of the objects have that.
Right.
And in the viewport display, you can see in front. So you can also do that for an image or
Right, okay.
wish.
Yeah, sweet. That makes sense. Awesome. Thank you, dude. Head bone connected to the neck bone connected to the shoulder bone connected to the backbone. Thank you. What is the breastbone connected to? Sing it. No. You can sing it for me, Spacey. I'm not a performing the neck bone's connected. No. I'm not a performing monkey. Okay, so.
I feel it in my fingers.
I know you love me. You always. I don't even know the words. Have to. No, for the way that I feel. There's no forgiving. Wet, right? Wet. No T, it's just wet. Okay, so I'm going to get back to just getting this going down to where we want it to. Why did it do that? Okay. So the way we split up our body, this was going to be like the hips and... Yeah, okay, sweet. So we're going to scale this... it's scaling around the middle of it. Can we change that to... I know you can, but I forgot how to do this. I kind of want it to scale around like the pivot point of it, I guess. But I guess it doesn't really matter. I'm just trying to get a bit more competent with Blender. It annoys me when I... And you might have noticed I've been using something else, like I think it's Unreal and something else recently, where middle click will pan you, whereas it's not, it's shift and middle click in this. So it'll take me a little while to get back used to that. But okay, so let's chuck the... Let's say the bottom bone is going to be there. Can we just grab this point and bring it down? That might be a better way of doing it. Yeah, there we go. Sweet. And then do you tend to duplicate bones or just shift out and make a new one each time?
Duplicate? No, just E to extrude.
So from the top, E. Excellent. Thank you, dude. We'll do that up to there. I'm doing it roughly where his little pectorials or man boobs would be, or she boobs. And then we'll do that up one more time to around here. We're going to kind of snap it to the Z again, keep it nice and straight. Start to think where we want these shoulders to come across. So I'm thinking if we do that there, we can extrude the shoulders out to around here to keep that shape. Now, I remember Brain said something about you can apply it to the other side, but I'm guessing we can't do that when we don't have the rig set up with all the right naming and stuff, right?
You can try. Right click on it.
Right click. Symmetrize. Oh dear. Yeah, it didn't seem to do it.
Well, anything. You don't have an opposing bone.
What do you mean by that, sorry?
Like on the other side.
Oh, for it to even match to. Okay, I see what you mean. Okay, thank you, dude. Okay, so if we select this and we extrude out, we'll do roughly the same thing again. I also realized at this point, did we maybe... Yeah, we did. I don't want to do it like that. Let's go back one. I mean, really?
What?
It was doing this last time. You get to a point and then it just... I really don't understand. You're like, you undo and then it just like removes everything.
I guess it has to do something with the behavior we had in OTL. Like you undo too much, then you go to dinosaur age.
See, I was listening to you for a while thinking this is serious stuff. Listen, Brainhead's going to be teaching us what's going wrong. And no, I'm making a reference to OTL. Want to love y'all. Okay, so now let's give this a go. So right click and symmetrize. Don't know if that... Oh, did we select it even? Let's try and just move it. Oh, crikey. No, let's try and move this and see if it does it. No, okay. Sweet. That's fine. We didn't expect it to, but it just goes past the neck joint. That's okay. No, not all humans are distributed perfectly anyway, right? Okay, so from here we're going to extrude up neck bone, and then we got to think where we want the if they were nodding where that kind of pivot would be, and I guess it would be in there. And then our next point is just to give them a giant head bone. They are giant. I don't feel I want their head to be bending around. So we're just going to keep it as one. We're not going to give them an extra one. Let's see roughly what we had in mind here. So yeah, we've given them the double that. We've given their head. We've got a bit of shoulders to them. Now we're going to do some offset based ones. So is there anything with the offset? I guess that's where I'd add a new bone from scratch, right?
So for the offset, you actually need to like do Shift A again.
Yeah. Oh.
And it creates a new bone right away without any menu selection. And
Okay.
you move the bone wherever you want.
Okay.
Just scale it down.
The scale too. I'll need to get used to using it correctly.
Yeah.
Okay, so we wanted the arms going from probably this armpit here.
Rotación.
Would you rotate or just move? I guess.
No, just move it. Yeah.
I think we're going to try and do it on just straight out proper T-pose. So we're going to lock it to the... Oh, no, yeah, we can't lock it to the X, actually. For that reason. Okay, so let's go for here. And then let's go for extruding it out. Now, if we wanted them to have a wrist, like to wave and stuff like that, which I doubt it, but realistically...
Yeah, you shouldn't have a wrist in this model, I guess, but yeah, realistically...
We can add one in. Yeah.
I mean, you shouldn't do that because you don't have enough subdivisions in there, right?
Oh, in order to do, as in it's so clunky. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, you're right. I'd have to bend that solid face, which I couldn't, I guess, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll keep that around there for now. I've chucked the elbow in the bone, and then is there automatically? Do we need to do something to these two to tell it that hey, we want to keep a gap between you?
Yes. So select the shoulder bone first, the arm.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, the arm. Select the arm first.
Yeah, all of it or just this bit?
All of it. I mean the upper arm bone.
Okay.
Okay, and then the other bone. Yes, all of it. And Control P.
Keep offset. Sweet. Ah, lovely. Okay. Nice. Alrighty, let's go ahead and do another. So last time we clicked, we do Shift A, it adds one in automatically. We move it, trying to move it with G. Why is it acting so? Oh, it's because we just selecting the top one. So we move the whole thing across to where we want. So it could be in the armpit here. We're going to scale it right down. So we may need to just bring it down this way first. Okay, so we're going to place it in the armpit as we did last time. So it's kind of like this area here we placed it. You can see the shade of the light going down. So it was here in line with the arm. We're going to grab this top bit, move that over to where we want it to go, which was this crease. Trying to keep it as straight as we can. And then we extrude from that out to this bit here. Excellent. And then we select this first, then Shift, click the connecting one, Control P, and then we want to keep that offset between them. There we go. Sweet. So now we have ourselves the legs and the hips and that. So if we look at this from the side first, maybe before we go ahead, and I'm glad that we did because the arms are floating in front of the poor boy. So that's selected both sets. Yeah, great. Let's move these back in line. So let's move them along the Y. I think that's about good. I don't know, I guess we could move all of it back a little bit. Yeah, for now we'll keep it there. I'm just wondering if you want the head to fold, it's probably going to be, that neck joint would probably be a bit further back. So it's annoying with the shoulder, I can't quite see at the moment, but I guess we could move that one back. Go back here. We just move it along the Y a bit. Do the same on this, try and keep it straight-ish at least. Okay. So next up then would be the hips, as I said. So I think the hips were connected. So this is, like Brian was trying to explain earlier, we basically want it so if we attach legs straight to this, that when they're moving forward and that, it's going to have a lot of control. This lower section is going to be quite highly influenced by it. So adding extra bones in here allows us to kind of let this leg movement maybe be more controlled over just this top section above the leg rather than the entire waist. So we're going to extrude out a couple of bones to simulate that sort of behavior. I don't know why we don't just go across like this. I've just seen other things do that, so now I'm naturally wanting to copy it. But let's maybe just do it straight, and then we'll see what happens. And it's not just this straight on view we need to concern ourselves with as well. We're going to have to do something similar on the, or some consideration on this side view. So again, it was said that maybe they could be moved forward. So if we just take these two and move them along the Y. Again, I'm not 100% why we're doing that, but it's one of those things that I've seen. Okay, and then the legs. So I'm trying to think now with the legs. Is the legs... Oh, I think I might have an idea why they do it like that, actually. Because it's to keep a groin, to keep the groin consistent.
Yeah.
Because if this is by here, it's going to move equally, whereas if you manage to move it down, I'm trying to just select that one there. Yeah, so if we just move this down, oh, it's not connected. Why is it not connected?
You can parent it, like not keep the offset, but parent.
I just wondered why they weren't by default, because I extruded from the bottom one. Let me try and pull this off and see. Yeah, they're separate for some reason. Thank you, Coded Beard. 16 months of your continued support. It's very much appreciated. You moved into your house yet? Thank you very much for the support. I'm already having a vision of this character doing the Shakira. What, because the hips don't lie? Shakira, Shakira! Yeah, I don't know why they came off as separate. I'm going to actually try and delete them and do it again and see if that happens again. So first off, we move that. We have just got one there. That's fine. So we click, we extrude. Okay, now we're going to move that. Yeah, they connected when I did it that time. Peculiar. Don't know what I did differently. Okay, let's go straight on and do this again then. So extrude out. So yeah, the reason we're doing it up, I guess, is so the leg movement will come up this direction, and the groin area, I guess, has less of an impact or less of a change. So I think we'll probably do this, and we'll move the whole kind of that area down in a sec. We'll kind of go to around here. And I think it's worth us taking this down more to the groin, if that's kind of how it works. We're doing it like that. Let's see how that looks from the side as well. Yeah, I'm not positive we need to definitely move them forward. Because they're kind of central. Gaudutis, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Let's move these just forward along the Y a little bit then. Just like that. Okay, and then we want to get our legs down. Right, so did we have a preference, Brent, whether we actually directly pull legs off or do we keep them distance based?
I need to use the offset.
Okay. I think it's gonna, yeah, one of those things from experience again, like you said, where to understand the difference between offset and having them connected. So you not yet. I do have water now though, at least. Oh, in the new house. I'm guessing you're able to visit there. You've just not fully moved in, is it? Coded. I say visit there, but I mean it's yours. Okay, so Shift A, we added another bone in. We're going to move this entire thing down. We'll rotate it around. Oh, we only want to rotate on the Y, don't we? There you go. Sorry, it was going some weird angles there. Like this. Scale that well down, like so. And then we want to move it along to be around here. Do it right there. We'd probably take this point up a little bit. It depends, actually. I guess this is where we need to start looking at our model and see like where would look natural for it to bend. I didn't actually model like a knee properly, and that might be. I guess that's one thing that you can realize and might want to tweak when you're doing these sort of things. It's like the knee for me would be in the middle here, but we've kind of lost that. So I think we should potentially touch up the model a little bit if we're doing that. But, for now, I'm going to leave it as it is because this isn't like the base version of the model I want to be using. But it's good to at least have that consideration. So I would like the knee there typically, and then we'd extrude off down to the where the foot would be, or the ankle. So let's get these lined up nicely. Okay, and then, so is it beneficial to do a foot as well, like this, Brian?
Well, you don't have a foot, so.
Yeah, so it's only if you have a foot that could like utilize animations and stuff, right? Okay, sweet, that's fine. So we do first we do the one we're connecting it to, the one we want to connect. Then we click on the potential parent. Then we do Control P, and we keep the offset. Great. Now can we just copy these two and paste them? Crikey, what did that do? Okay, I don't know what it did, but did I accidentally add? It's got loads of new crap in there now. Ugh. Okay, maybe copying and pasting wasn't the best idea. It really seems like I should be able to, though. Let's try one more time. Yeah, it doesn't work very well. Okay, well, let's just do it manually then, I guess. Like last time, Shift A. I'm going to scale this. What have I selected at the moment? The whole thing. Scale it down. Let's rotate it on the Y. Hold Control to get nice increments. So we know that that is directly down. G. Move it to roughly where we want. Let's get closer now. Ugh. Okay, so we'll move this up. Midway through there like last time. I think this is a little further out than the other, so let's just bring that in. Okay, and our knee will be just about there. At the other side. Now we want to constrain this to moving on the Z at the moment. Sweet. We extrude that out. Give ourselves a foot, which is around there. And then let's look at that from the side. Yeah, we got the same issue as last time. So grab these, move them back along the Y. And then we just move the odd bit forward. So this will go forward along the Y, like so. This will go back along the Y, like that. So on this one, I don't want it to move backwards. So I need to Shift and X that. So I can line it up without getting it on a weird angle. So Shift X. Sweet. Okay, so quite happy with the way that that has come together. Let's save as well. Always a good habit. And we've set up things. The only thing we haven't done, you can see from the lack of connective dots here, is we haven't gone ahead and done the parenting of these. There we go. Sweet. So, Brain, what am I right to say? Look at that beautiful creature. Am I right to say that we should we should be looking at naming these bones?
You can.
Is that useful though for when you import it into editor and animations and stuff?
Yes, it is of course useful. Naming is never too bad.
Yeah. Okay. Sweet. So can you expand all? So all the bones should be in here. I've got bone. Do they each have their own sub bones? Yes, they do. This has crikey, there's many bones. I feel we should be bringing this out at the moment. Bringing this down. Okay.
And imagine you had fingers.
Yeah, that's something to consider, isn't it? Okay, so I guess what we do now is we look at which one is which. I can't see them being selected. Am I in the wrong mode? Oh, did you really just close them all again? Doesn't seem to. Let me select them individually.
Try going to edit mode and
then it closes these.
Okay,
I think what's happening is when I click on armature, it switches back to object mode. But I need to be in edit mode and don't click on armature and then bring these all out again.
Actually, I was going to say, can you go back to the inspector thing? It's to scroll down. Oh, so you don't have the word. Of course, you wouldn't have those. So, wait. I don't remember how to do that. And I don't have a armature in my setup right now, so I can't put it right away.
No problem. Let me just catch up with chat then while we have a look at that. Sorry, it's been 6 minutes since I last looked. Sorry if you're still here, Coated Beard. You can go there, but didn't have water turned on until Friday. I'm trying to get the kitchen replaced before moving in, but that's looking unlikely. Right. Is that just because of the availability of worksmen and stuff, or warm water is overrated? What is this about? Who rates warm water as well?
Oh yeah, of course. So you have the bone thing, right? This one?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and this one is the name of the bone?
Oh, bone 002. Right, okay, the thing at the top there, yeah.
Now, is it too difficult to change the bone names this way?
I guess that's what you're going to have to do though, right?
Or just F2?
Oh, so you're saying what? F2? Oh, when you're clicking on it, you can rename it. Yeah. So the issue I was having though was that I couldn't select individual ones at the time. Oh, I was branching it out, but I guess your point is I don't really need to branch them out. I can just name them there. Yeah, okay, I definitely see your point. So instead of having to branch it all out, because the structure doesn't matter, what matters is just doing this. So I'm going to call this head bone. Is there a prefix you would use?
No, head is fine.
I guess we don't need to call them all bones.
Yeah, they're all bones, you know that.
Yeah. Hey there, Super Low Scores. How's it going? Then we have our neck bone here. So F2. neck. Then we're gonna have. Which way do you do your left and right? Is it as you look at it, or if you were the person?
I use as a person.
Yeah, I think that would be.
Not to look at it.
Okay, so this therefore is going to be right shoulder or shoulder right. Yeah, there's a prefix with these though, isn't it? That I quite often see with L and R. So is it like underscore L or R at the end? Am I right with that? Or
Blender uses .l.
okay, we'll go ahead and we'll stick with that structure then.
Can you actually try renaming the right shoulder .right and then try symmetrize? Check if it's working.
Okay, shoulder.L there. Oh no, that was the wrong one. That should be shoulder.R. Sorry.
Here we go.
Yeah. Shoulder.L. And then if I move one of them and then click on here and then try to symmetrize. Yes. Yes, it does work. Cool. It's good to see. It's definitely a lot quicker to do it with the, what do you call it, right? With the free-made one. But I think it's nice to actually go, you appreciate what you're getting out of it as well when you understand it this way.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so then we have our, I guess that's upper arm and forearm. Upper arm on the right side. And then we have our forearm on the right side. Upper arm on the left. Characters left. And then forearm on the characters left. Sweet. Right, okay, so these, would you call these like back or spine, or it doesn't really matter? Whatever I want.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, so like upper torso.
Them spine, but
yeah, yeah, I might do spine, upper spine. This one can be mid spine. I think spine mid would have been better, but it's okay. I've started it now. I can't be bothered. Lower spine. And these, I guess we called our hips, didn't we? So this is going to be hip right, up, hip left, and then we have our upper leg and lower leg. I guess we'll just call them those. Upper leg right, lower leg right. Leg left and lower leg left. Sweet. Okay, so now we have nice names for everything, and this is where you start to see how some of those. Oh, that surprises me actually. I was going to say what you chose as your kind of route. Cancer. You have. Just wondering where these arms fit in. Like, why is the So it's from the mid spine of the upper spine, and then the upper spine then has the shoulders. But they kind of, you can see that they're parented, it seems. Actually, no, I guess they're two separate. And on the upper spine, we have our shoulders. No, they are parented. I'm trying to work out why this is different, why the hips aren't in that way.
Yeah.
They should all be in that one armature, shouldn't they? At the moment, I've got lower hips different, separate. Thank you, Mon2880. It's a new website, adviewers.com. It used to be bot follower, didn't it? Or follow bot. Now we know another website to help us be successful. We appreciate you and your links.
There definitely is an issue with the hips.
Yeah.
I think you can at least manually parent them to the spine.
Yeah, I guess they're on the lower spine, aren't they?
Yeah, they should be. Control P and set parent, or again in the bone menu, relations, and set parent.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I like that actually. It's nice. Interesting that. So if we go for the lower spine there, and then we do this one as well. Well, thank you, Brian.
Fixes that.
Yeah, that feels better. I'm not too sure why that was. That's something to check at least if you're doing this yourself. Okay, so now we've got this. Let's save. I'm going to take a quick break shortly to get a drink to keep my whistle wet. But I think what we did last time we did this is we went into pose mode, didn't we, to see how things move now.
I made a strawberry lemon iced tea yesterday, but it's finished.
Oh, was it good though?
It was great.
Oh, have I not attached? I've not attached the... Okay, so the step that I missed here is attaching the armature to the actual... parenting the mesh to the armature, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's... do we need to be in object mode for that? Select it, then select the armature, then Control P, then parent to... Would it just be armature deform?
Automatic weight?
Oh, there's the option in there. Sorry, I didn't see that. So what's the automatic weights do here? Is this for the...
It adjusts the weights automatically.
What, the weight painting? That thing?
Yes.
Okay. So now if we go into pose mode, we should be able to grab a foot. Yay, there we go. It's beautiful. We can grab this and we can rotate the leg out. You get to see how the body would move with it. So like part of me doesn't like that when the leg comes out, the belly goes in. Oh, we're also having that slight split down the middle.
You also fixed that in your earlier rig, I guess.
What, the belly moving thing?
Yes.
Yeah. So would this be a thing that's purely... Sorry, I'm not super confident with this. I'm trying to think of... Would it be something that's mainly done with the weight painting, or do you think the position of the bones we can play with to try and work on that as well?
I don't have the answer to that. I mean, definitely it needs some weight painting.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if you could have a better structure, skeleton structure to fix that early on.
Okay, dude. Let's try some things. That's what we're here for, right? Experiment, learn.
Yes.
Do that and go into pose mode and see how that goes. Still gonna... If anything, I don't think it really does much difference here. How about if we were to... First off, let's go back into edit mode. Let's move both of these points back down. About here where they were. So what we can try and do is maybe let's move these hit points forward. See if that has much of an impact on it. Not so much. If we try and lower them to here a second, just want to see what happens. Yeah, to me, I'm not seeing too much of a difference when I do it. It seems to be probably going to be...
My sword, finally.
Say that again.
I used my sword.
Ah, well done. You got rid of the wonderful bot. The charming bot who wanted to help us grow. Oh, so generous. But yeah, I'm getting more and more leaning towards the idea that it might be the weight painting that we do. But I'm happy to get some input from chat on this. Hello there, Hef. How you doing, mate? The main bending area of the stomach might be a bit lower, so you could put the second torso bone a bit lower. So this bit, do you mean by that, Uno? We're to move this down.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I just want to see how that actually changed it.
Also, I think you should have the legs offset it to the lower spine instead of the...
Oh, instead of the hips?
Yeah.
Oh, is it? I always saw it like the hip. These are like the pelvic kind of joints, if you will.
I'm seeing those like helper bones to keep the stomach stiffer.
Right. Okay, well, we can try and do that. So we can Alt P, I guess. Clear the parent, disconnect bone. Disconnect bone, I guess. No, clear parent.
You did that maybe. No. Click only on the leg bone.
Right.
So otherwise you'd also clear the parent of hip as well. Maybe that's what you did earlier.
Ah, okay. It could be that. Clear the parent of that. Clear the parent of that.
And now
and then do it to the spine instead, is it?
Yeah. Control P, keep offsetted. Yes, that's what it should be doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Like that.
Yes.
Okay, I'm just going to move these up a little bit then. If their
Are
purpose
those,
is to keep
Are
the...
those still parented correctly, by the way? Because I think you...
Oh, the legs or the hips?
No, that's hips. Because you cleared parent for those as well at some point, maybe.
We'll have to have a look, I guess. No, lower spine they're still connected to.
Okay, yeah.
Look fine.
You could also just move them to see in pose mode.
Oh, right, okay. So let's... Again, we'll save. We'll go into pose mode. How are you doing today, Hefu? And Uno, I agree. There's lovely people here. Oh, he's thrusting! Stop it!
Oh, they're not parented?
Ah.
Oh, they're offsetted.
Interesting. Okay, so that's... So both of these we want to clear the parent.
You can. No. Huh? Look at the inspector. They're not connected.
Ah, yes. Ah.
Yeah, that's what happens.
But we want it connected to the bottom part of it.
Okay, so maybe they should be offset.
Hey.
You cannot place on the root bone anything on the root bone.
Maybe you have a tiny little tailbone?
No.
Okay. Well, maybe they are like this then. We live and we learn. We'll see how things go. Let's see how the rest of the body looks at least, right? So if we rotate on the X, the neck looks nice. I like that. Actually, that looks really healthy. Let's try and view that from this side. Yeah, I quite like that. That looks really healthy. Let's try and do some arm movement, shall we? So, ooh.
Oh, yes.
Oh, hello. Look at that. Okay, so that makes me feel, do we put the arm further out? like this bone in here. Let me just move that out here a little bit more. See how that behaves then. So let's go into pose mode again. This. No, that didn't help. I mean, all of a sudden he's got a better physique.
What if you add nipple bones to help the
So that to stop the movement of that section. Is that what we're thinking?
Reduce the movement at least.
Okay, let's go back to how it was. So would they? I guess they could come off of for this, or would they maybe come off of this?
I was thinking separate keep offset bones, but Shift A.
Oh, completely different, is it? Okay. Shift A.
Huge nipple.
Very, very impressive. Let's scale this down. And then let's go straight on. Let's put this.
And make it look towards us.
Yeah. Let's place it around here. Then we'll rotate this top end.
Yeah. Right.
Like so. Okay.
Yeah, let's try just one. Okay, let's keep offset parented first.
Oh yeah, so this would be offset to any point on the spine, I guess, or the shoulder as well. I'm trying to. Could you do 2?
2?
Like, could you make it offset to 2 things? No, I guess that would really clamp where it could move. Yeah. Okay. So we want this to be probably parented to that one.
That one.
So currently connected.
No, you selected the. Yeah, you don't have to select the other one.
Okay, so this would be the upper spine. Okay, sweet. Yeah. So let's have a look how the arm moves now. So we're going to pose. We're not on the armature. No, we were on the armature. Why am I not getting tab? Not going to pose mode now. Okay, never mind.
It's not. No, it's not added to the skin now. You have to clear parent and.
Oh. Okay. Right. Okay. Interesting.
Because you added a bone, right?
Yeah.
So the mesh doesn't know about it.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. I'll add the opposite one then quickly. Let's go out of pose mode, edit mode. Oh yeah, duplication is good.
Duplication is good.
Oh, I tried doing copy paste before and that did some weird things. But it seems better now. Okay, so we should also name these bones. So this is going to be our breast, and it's on the right of the character. To the R, and we'll do this for the left side. Is Dan adding nipple bones? Something. I don't feel that's a biological technical term we should be using, but yes, I'm kind of. You're on your way home, bit of a rough weekend, so I went out with a boat to clear your mind. Okay, that sounds good to me, dude. Sorry that you had a bit of a tough old time. And also, sorry, a while ago, I remember Codin partly talking about not allowed to come in and measure up the place for you getting the kitchen done. And partly was saying in a similar one, you need someone to come out and do the plumbing. We also don't want strangers in the house right now. I've had like 3 people come in the house and do work to the boiler and that. I just kind of like leave them to it. But if they're there for longer jobs, then it's tougher because you are going to cross paths more, I guess, right? Is this without any? Yeah, there's no weight painting yet, Hefu. We're making our own rig. So this, compared to last time, we used the automatic one. We're trying to learn how you would make your own one, just in case you're not making a humanoid. It might be something interesting.
We are avoiding weight painting as much as we can.
But I'm also trying to understand how much the bones influence it versus the weight painting as well, you know?
Yeah.
So, anyway, okay, so we need to detach the character now, right? So, Alt-P.
Alt P.
Clear parent. Then we go, let's go into object mode. I prefer being in object mode for this. Control P. No, we haven't told it what, have we?
Both.
Yeah, so select the armature as well. Now we do Alt P.
No.
Oh, no, Control P. Curses.
No.
No?
Are you?
I click the model.
You selected everything. That's why. Not.
Oh, I did that.
Probably instead of Control.
Then that.
Or
Do I do the orange armature or the green one?
the orange.
Okay. Let's start again. It's fine to make these mistakes because it's not the most easy thing to remember all the time. Okay, so Control, click on the orange one. Then we hover over the mesh. Control P, connected. Make parent.
No, wrong order. First the mesh.
That's what I did.
Then the armature.
That's what I did. And it does that. It's already
you're in edit mode.
It's already a child of it. That's why.
Yeah, you didn't clear the parent earlier, or?
I do it and then it doesn't clear it.
But you should be in object mode, I guess.
Maybe that is why. There we go. We got there in the end. Hey, fine. I really like Blender. This is meant to be a lot more intuitive and better user interface than what it used to be as well. So, like, I cannot complain. It's difficult. It just takes time. You need to use it often. You need to practice. You need to do more than just watch tutorials. You need to use it and learn. So. Okay, so let's go through it in the correct order now. We select the body, control the armature, hover over it, Control P, flipping. Control P does nothing now. Okay, now we've got it with automatic weights. I swear I was pressing Control P the last time. I don't know what happened differently. But there we go. Okay, now we want to go into pose mode. Now we're going to try and move this whole arm and see. Oh, wow. That made a huge difference.
Yeah, so you understand how it works, right?
So chucking bones will just solidify this bit. And it kind of, I'm imagining it like weight painting based on the bone positions, right? And it's based on proximity. And so this is saying all of this stuff is much more influenced by this than this.
Proximity as in vertex distances between, bones to the vertices.
Yeah. So we ended up coming up with something that looks exactly like the one that they put in. But at least now we maybe understand why they put those things in. If you have no weights, it's just based on nearest. I'd imagine so. You could also just assign vertex groups to only some bones, I suppose. Have more. So how would you do that? Do you mean in terms of you go into the vertex groups in terms of edit on the character? We can't.
But you don't have vertex groups set, I guess.
Oh, there's this thing. Oh, so has it already made them?
Mm-hmm.
This was the automatic weighting thing, right? Okay, so you can make those when you're making a mesh, is it? Or?
Yeah, I think you can use the generated ones. There are add-ons for them.
Okay. But generally talking, just if anyone watches back the VOD or whatever, so you can make vertex groups to group like bits of a mesh together which form a segment, but they're all made out of the same mesh. So it's a way of kind of chopping up your one mesh without chopping it up.
You can also use vertex groups for assigning materials and stuff.
Yes. Oh, yes. I've done that. I've done that a long time ago as well. Awesome. Okay. Cool. Thank you for the explanations, both. So I'm happy with the arms now. The arms seem good. Let's see them from this way. Oh, don't twist like that. We want to rotate forward. So we want to go on the Z. I mean, it looks fine.
They should have less effect on back vertex.
You think it should have less effect, you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, so do you think we need to have back nipple bones?
No, just weight paint them.
Yeah. Slap. Okay, let's try and move and see what a real slap would look like.
It's not a good approach to fix everything, adding bones everywhere.
Yeah.
Because bones are not performance friendly.
Okay. So the more bones, the more the performance cost, sort of thing, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm gonna make him do a dab.
So for the ankles and like joint stuff, right, like that, they add a different topology on the ankle bits to make them rotate realistically.
Different topology. The term topology is something that I often don't fully.
I think Grant Abbott had some examples of it. I'm not sure if it was Grant. Ankle.
Is my character dabbing enough? I go perfect. Okay, sweet. So we've got ourselves a character now. We've made a nice rig for it. I think what we can have a look at is the weight painting now. And then we'll try that out on some of the animations again. And then we're pretty much caught up to where we were last stream, but this time we've done a rig from scratch. Topology is a maths word. Basically just means how does the geometry behave during deformation stretching. So I've seen some people say things like, oh, that's bad topology. And it normally is if there's long, big triangle faces rather than split into little chunks. That's what I've seen of it.
You can skip watch this video I linked.
Okay, let me open that. Link is opened here.
And understand about ankle topology or knee topology. Actually start from the beginning. Sorry, okay. I don't know why I sent the...
So let's say we wanted to have a character bend an elbow or a knee, or have the appearance of bending something in clothing versus having an elbow that is out of clothing, or keeping proper volume retention. We have options for said problems. Now, in order to illustrate this properly, I wanted to pretty much get rid of every...
Well, you can see the different topologies, right?
Geometry.
So it's the way that it's split up. It's the same shape, right?
Just in this region. So it's the same topology. This is one without any patch.
So this,
and it's just augmented for each one. Now,
so we're just going to bend
the exact same animation. Everything
cylinder, and we will see different approach and different effects.
Okay, that's interesting.
Off the first one. Let's look at
usually the result is different in details, but
I would say that if you're going to go without using any patches, have a minimum of 5 spans for each joint. So you would have a span for the beginning and end, and then you have span for the middle, and 2 bridge spans for each holding span, is what we would call these guys. And as you can see, if I bend this, you'll see what I mean. So each holding span is to hold this shape, and each bridge span is to kind of smooth in between those shapes. I hope that makes sense. Let's look at this without any wireframe, and let's smooth it out to kind of see what kind of deformation we're getting. like I said, this just works. It works. It's perfectly acceptable. It just kind of looks like a tube because we animated a tube. Now, I can't tell you whether or not sculpting this on a character with muscles or whatever is going to give you the effect that you want to get. But it works. It's feasible. So with that in mind, let's go to the next one and see what.
See how the other ones work then.
And connect these two edges top and bottom. Now, with that in mind, you can see the difference. For one, and even though that there's two triangles here, and I know people get really nervous with triangles, don't fear triangles. Triangles can be a very useful tool if used correctly. Try not to get too bent out of shape about them. And you can see already by using this setup, we're getting a nicer deformation in the back versus this one where this edge here has the tendency to want to kind of stay with this guy. I mean, we can kind of smooth that out if we really wanted to, but there's only so much you could do. This one is a really nice, and you're using less.
So you're giving more points for the deformation to use, I guess, right? And it tries to keep loops together when you do things, it seems.
Results speak for themselves. You can kind of see the differences already. Now, the one thing is that when it's hyperextended or just at a 90-degree, it's not going to retain as much volume as the other one. That's just the nature of the beast. There are pros and cons to using every single one of these, and they are weighted pretty much identically, except for one little tweak for the topology here and there. So, let's go on to the Pixar knee. And the Pixar knee is kind of pretty easy. In fact, the only thing you really need to do is take the no patch area, or just a standard topology that you'd probably get off the get-go.
And they've done diagonal lines through it, or have they just pulled it?
Take this scenario here, and just select the amount of faces that you want for the area, and then just go to extrude this area, and kind of bring it in. That's it. That's all the patch is. And I think it's you may need to insert an edge for the center, just to kind of give it a little bit of oomph in the middle, and then that's pretty much it. Just need to smooth it out. And I forget which one of these does it. I think it's the.
They have a relax tool.
Relax tool. So it can keep the same amount of.
I could do with one of those.
Same shape. But look at the look how easy that was, and you have that patch. That's all.
Massage the vertices.
Let's see how the results are. Is this even worth doing? I think so. What is this one good for? Well, I personally think this one is good for stretching fabric, like a limb inside of a coat or a pant leg, something like that. And I'll show you the reasons why. So let's go ahead and turn off the wireframe unshaded, and you can kind of see in the back here, kind of some nice little, I would say wrinkles. Yeah, it looks pretty good. It feels like wrinkles in the back to me.
Kind of creasing.
And you can kind of feel the stretching fabric. It's keeping the shape, but still pulling on it. I can kind of feel that's what that is. Now, you can, of course, use this topology if you did.
So it's kind of like you're giving more strength to the front, right? You're allowing it to stay smoother at the front and more flexibility.
Depending on how you paint your weights, you don't have to stretch it like I do. I personally like doing that for cloth and things like that. You just have to keep in mind that you do need a minimum with this of 1, 2.
I will read what you say in a moment, Hefmet.
In the middle. Again, 1 to hold, 1 to hold, 1 to hold, and 2 to bridge. That still applies, even with this patch. Okay, so I hope that makes sense for the Pixar knee patch. And again, I'll go ahead and zoom on this one so you can get an idea of that. And
okay, let's go to the next one.
And the short end points towards the upper arm. That's pretty much all you have to know. I will go ahead and zoom in on this so you guys can see this.
This one is interesting,
okay.
that it has a
how it deforms
pointy edge.
Awesome.
Through the
So I'm
ankle.
going to go ahead and deform it, and you can kind of see how this works.
Oh.
Go ahead and show you from the back. And that, you're going to say that looks downright ugly.
So it
Why would I
does
want that?
look
That looks
like
strange.
a
Go ahead
ankle.
and smooth it and turn off the wireframe. And lo and behold, that looks like a damn elbow. You can even see the
Yeah, it does.
And the skin bulging around it. That's off of a cylinder. And the thing is so nice, when it's bent, hyperextended, it really looks like
Almost like a triangle
How smooth
shape
is that?
appears once you bend
Yeah,
it.
we've never figured that out on my own.
Yeah.
But there it is. So now you can kind of see, just off of a cylinder, it turns into an arm. No blend shapes or anything necessary. You could still use blend shapes to emphasize things and fix. Again, not perfect, because, you know, kind of want some muscles and stuff bulging out, but it's a cylinder. Let's be real here. So, absolutely genius. I'm not smart enough to figure that out. I don't really know where I saw this from. It's just been in my notes for years. So, there you go. There's another application. Now, the last one here is something I found kind of by accident. I don't really know what to call it.
You see, it's got like a.
Mostly because it has.
A two loop is
Two kind of-
the little bit rounded version of the previous one.
Right, okay.
So it looks between a knee and an ankle.
Go ahead and smooth it and turn off the wireframe.
You
To
can
me, this
satisfy
looks like a knee.
both.
Oh yeah, you can see there's a bit of like definition almost
And
in
it's a little
there.
bit, you know, more
Yeah.
bulging. It even kind of looks like a patella. And you can see the muscles bulging around it, but it looks like a knee to me.
A muscle pops out from there, or
Yeah.
a
I changed
bone
nothing
maybe.
except the topology. All these other variables.
A cankle.
Weight paintings are pretty much identical except for the patch.
Okay, interesting.
So, volume retention without having to do so many correctives of things. Sometimes, like for the
Yeah.
pants area, you might
I think
want
this
some
tells a lot.
or bunching up.
Yeah.
It's entirely up to you. Knowing the application of what these are going to be used for can really pay dividends. So you can kind of see the difference between this knee.
And that's what I guess really good
Pretty cool, huh?
people who are good at modeling get used to, like where they need to have the triangles and the loops and stuff like that.
Might scare some people off.
So there are three basic things to consider. First, subdivisions and the triangles, the shapes,
Personal choice.
and then the bone positions, and then the weight painting.
Is using it for finger knuckles. Specifically, each joint on the finger really deforms very nicely with a patch like this. And obviously, you don't have to use so many.
So subdivision,
But these are amazing.
weight painting was the last one. Sorry. So subdivision, bone placement, and weight painting.
So
Okay, sweet. Let me just.
Yeah, I mean, it's not subdivision, but the vertex position.
Yeah.
Number of vertices, right?
Yeah. I'm just gonna jot that down here, and I'll read what Heifu says, and then I need to get a drink, so I'm gonna be taking a short break after that. Okay, so this was just. I should make it full screen, so it's easier for me to write. Just drag across. Oh, how do you move across in the software? If I've got to do the grabber tool, I have.
Space says she doesn't think about any of this, and she can
It's
get away with it.
yeah. That's another point as well. But then, yeah. Okay, so what did I just? Things to consider.
Oh no.
With how the mesh stretches, so we so the mesh topology, we could say, but I worry about just using a word that doesn't make sense to people. Like it didn't make sense to me much until recently, I guess. Topology. We have the bone placement. Okay, and then finally would be the weight painting. Sweet. Okay, sweet. Alrighty, so let's catch up with what our dear Heifu said. Now I see what you laughed at. Okay, so good or bad topology is definitely not part of the original math definition, but yeah, generally when an artist says good topology, they mean that it'll bend or deform as they want because the geometry is aligned so that the triangles create natural bends. Bad topology is when the geometry is not aligned with how you want it to deform, causing artifacts. But it's a bit subjective because the triangles are just deformed based on their relative location, the bones and weights, unless they're aligned in ways that make the math work out until it create weird deformations. Okay, so it's like, it can, I guess, like bad topology can be kind of patched up with weight painting, maybe? Not fixed, but if we like, you can try and relieve the impact of it somewhat, I guess. Yeah, okay. Right, so I'm going to take a short break just to get myself a drink and stretch my legs a little bit. Are you staying on, Brain? Or are you taking a break?
I'll also grab a bite.
Yeah, that's fine.
But wouldn't take so long.
Yeah. It's just so I know not to put your screen up if you're taking a break too. So yeah, I won't be too long. I'm just going to go ahead and chuck my Be Right Back screen on.